Hello, Gemini friends. Happy New Year. Welcome to my January 2026 astrology horoscope forecast. This is Annie Botticelli. Welcome back, old friends. For those of you who don't yet know me, hi, I'm Annie Botticelli. I'm an astrologer, author, teacher. I've been doing astrology for 23 years, and I am excited to tell you not only what may happen, but also why, so that you're learning some astrology as we move along, as you prepare for the starry weather and can make the most of the possibilities. This is for you if Gemini is your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising sign, or any other Gemini placement that we're going to talk about here is going to be part of your astrological picture. Very late degree Gemini friends, so birthdays like June 15th through the rest of the sign or 23 degree Gemini placements through the rest of the sign. I suggest you additionally listen to my Cancer report, as your very late degree friends will benefit from both readings. I'm going to go over a lot of important dates and time frames. If you have something to write with, you may enjoy writing down some things. If you cannot write anything down, go to another window right now and go to anniehelpsyou.com, where you can pick up your free January 2026 written star report. It will have all of the sweet and salty dates, which are the difficult and the sweet aspects, and so much more written so that you can get the notes basically from what I'm talking about and then some, so that you have it for your visual reference. And thank you for liking, subscribing, enabling notifications, and allowing my work to go to through the algorithm that can help the most people. I appreciate that. All right, so let's get into this Gemini New Year's mega supermoon. It's all about money. So you've got a mega money supermoon for Gemini right here at the beginning of the month, and I'm going to just start right with that. January 3rd, we've got a 13 degree Cancer full moon, fullness, completion, fruition, possibly drama, elucidation, achievement occurring in the water sign of Cancer. Supermoon, Cancer is ruled by the moon. Supermoon expands the gravitational effects. Very, very powerful. You may be feeling it towards the end of December, even through the first week of January. And while everybody may see outcomes in their Cancer-related things, so home, family, housing, specifically for Gemini, this moon is going to occur in your house of money, earned income, cash money, material things, also your connection with the earth. That's a material experience as well. And that's where it's happening. So at the beginning of this year, you may have New Year's money news. Something that you've been wanting to buy. Major purchases. Awesome time for that. We've got a ton of Capricorn energy. I'm going to be talking about this at length. This is ambitious, disciplined, strategizing, materially focused. And it's amazing for getting things done, getting organized, and material expression and manifestation. So Gemini sometimes can be a little distracted depending on your other placements, but this time you've got all of this disciplined Capricorn energy that can kind of coalesce around manifesting something major at this moon, and it is your money moon. Some of the things that you may see are big revelations about income or value, asking for a raise, getting a promotion, getting a better job. Since all of the personal planets, Mercury, Venus, Mars, are all going direct, and we're not in any shadow periods, and all of this is taking place from December 17th all the way through January and through February 12th. We are in a time that I like to call the tides going out. When the tides go out, that means everything that we do can carry more weight and go longer and further and wider. Whereas before the 17th and after the 12th, we're in a time where the tides are coming in. So from our position on the shore, we have this ebb and flow of the tides. And when things are coming in, we wait and see what comes in on the tides and deal with it. But when the tides are going out, we put everything, our boats afloat, our message in a bottle, out to sea, and it goes far and wide. So this is a little way to understand the energetics, that anything you do this month will carry more weight and can have major longevity. So as you have this money moon, the revelations or the financial changes also have a chance to be something long-term and permanent. You may have a financial culmination or a decision, like I said, a big sale or a big purchase. You may have emotional clarity about your self-worth, like a shift in your financial consciousness. A money opportunity may reveal itself, or something that you've been working on in the past may come to fruition. You may raise your prices. You may shift your money mindset. You may release scarcity behaviors and ways of thinking, remembering that all of what we need comes from the universe or whoever you pray to, and the intermediaries of our family, the job, or whatever else, those are intermediaries in the energetic circuit. But we can connect directly to the universe to open up opportunities for income to come in. And the more you can stretch your mind, the more you can stretch your experience. And this moon is all about doing that. It's a really great time to validate your own value and the value of your work. All right, so we could talk at length more about that, but I just wanted to start it out right here. At the beginning of the month is when this happens, and it's sort of setting the tone for the rest of the month and the beginning of the new year, which will likely very much feel like a new year because we don't have that retrograde mischief and we have all of this Capricorn energy. So let's talk about some of that. Mercury, Juno, Venus, the Sun, Mars, Astraea, Vesta, and when the days are on the 18th, the new moon, all in Capricorn. Big, big, big showing. We don't always have this big of a showing in any sign in their season, but we do now. So here is what to expect from this massive showing of Capricorn, and specifically for Gemini in your 8th house of Scorpio. Serious conversations about shared resources. The 8th house is shared resources, family, collaborators, spousal, government, work benefits, investments. You may have deep psychological insights. The 8th house rules inner resources. It rules the things under the ground, mining. It also can be emotional resources, financial resources, romantic resources, spiritual resources. So expect conversations about that, strategizing about that. This is a really great time to strategize your financial thinking, and it's great for reviewing agreements. This is actually one of the best months of this whole year to make agreements and to sign paperwork, because all of this Capricorn energy can give you more focus and focus on commitment. One thing to watch is that Jupiter, in the first half of the month, we have most of the salty aspects that we have for the whole month, and a lot of those are centered around these Capricorn planets opposing Jupiter. And when that happens, Jupiter in opposition can tend to overdo, overcommit, overinflate what we think we are capable of, because all of the Cap energy may make you feel strong and ready and capable and organized. And if you overdo it at this time, you may be stuck with a lot of heavy commitments that become burdensome. So even though it is a great time for agreements, just be careful that you're not overestimating what will be good for you. Some of the other best use of this energy is to study investments, research investments, taxes, inheritances. For some of you, playing the lotto maybe. Now, I'm not an advocate of gambling as an addictive thing or anything that interferes with financial stability, but if you've got $1 or $2 or whatever it is, and you're feeling strong, this could be a time, since your 8th house is lit up, there's a lot of attention there. And some of you will actually win some money or earn some money or find some money or win something in a sweepstakes. So just keep that in mind. It's a really great exploration and discovery time as it relates to your emotional and spiritual truths and psychology. This is like esoteric stuff, or this is just plain psychologically focused, but it's the deeper emotional types of things and spiritual. Conversations about commitments may come up. Testing of shared financial reliability may come up. Clarification of trust may come up. There may be a strengthening of this relational honesty, and you may have those serious conversations in your intimate space about your romantic life, about your financial life, about strategizing for the inheritances or estate, family estate. There may be some deep, important, serious discussions around money in your family or in your household unit or relationship. There can be a great alignment of financial expectations that occur at this time, a merging of finances, or a disintegration of shared finances, where you're getting the contracts for those kind of things drawn up. It's a fantastic time to heal intimacy wounds. There's so much energy around this 8th house for you that it's going to be hard to get out of it. And it may come up in many different ways. For some people, it may just come up, you found a great mystery series, a book, or something that you're in a bender with. There's something where you're probing deep into something that is of great interest to you. Power dynamics, that's going to come up. Personal empowerment and looking at the storylines of people using their power wisely and accountably. Mars is going to give intense motivation and drive for these breakthroughs, for these discussions, and a very keen desire to take control of finances and plan for the future. Okay, so now the next layer of this is that as all of these planets move along and get later into Capricorn, they will make beautiful aspects, the angle of opportunity with Saturn and Neptune. And that is going to occur in the 10th house. So massive blessings from these conversations really can have to do with parental and other authority figures. You could be having discussions. 10th house historically relates to dad. I have seen strong moms come up here as well. Mother figures, father figures, authority figures, bosses. So these are amazing aspects. They're angles of opportunity that you often will have to take advantage of. They're the kind of angle I like to call the ingredients on a counter angle, which means that if you have ingredients to make a peach pie, at the end of the transit, you can't say, Annie, where's my peach pie? You have the ingredients to make the peach pie, but if you don't make it, they'll rot on the table and it will go to nothing. So being alert to the possibilities and activating the potentials through actions at this time are going to be what helps you take advantage of all of this. So as you see these aspects occur, the kinds of things that may happen are going to be related to having support for your place out in the world. The 10th house very much closely aligns with the energy of employment, business, jobs, income, things like that. But for those of you who are not in that arena where you don't care about that, you're retired or independently wealthy, this is still your place out in the world. For many people, their place out in the world is through their job, their employer or employment or their business. So, but it doesn't matter. There doesn't have to be money associated with the energy here. It's your place out in the world. So funding for your passion project, funding for, the business that you want to launch. Maybe you're actually launching a business and this month is amazing for that. Some great dates, the 17th through the 22nd. As I was saying, the second half of the month carry most of the sweet aspects. And really from the 14th through the 25th, because I'm giving a few days before and after this spree of the 17th through the 22nd, we've got a massive amount of opportunity angles that all relate to your place out in the world. They relate to logic and intuition. They relate to creativity and the emotional realm and the tangible practical realm and the beautiful combination of those energies. So you're definitely going to see these possibilities show up. Maybe someone close to you helps you get a job. I remember one time there was a job when I was just coming out of college. There was a job that I really, really wanted. And I didn't really know anything about manifesting then. I started to learn that in that period of time. But I was telling everyone that I knew that I wanted to get this certain job with this certain company, which was very, very difficult to get. I was stalking the company, sending my resume for a year to no avail. And I just kept saying it. And then one day, my boyfriend at the time, his mom said, hey, I think that her friend, one of her close friends, Catherine, works there and you should tell her. And then I saw her and I told her. And then a little while later, I got a call from a manager at this place saying, hey, I'm a friend of Catherine and she said that you were interested and that you'd be a good candidate. And they had, 17 people there to fill 4 spots, 3 hours of interviews, and I waltzed in and I took the job because I knew that I was going to do it. But that's the kind of energy, is that somebody close to me, a close relationship, gave me that opportunity for that work advancement. And that launched my career and everything followed suit. And I stayed in the corporate world only 5 years until I became an entrepreneur, but it still helped me to fuel what became my next part of my life. And you may find this. Someone holds the key to something that you want to do, And if you voice it, if you get it to the right person, you may get the support that you need at this time. And that's very exciting. Okay, something else that's really exciting is as the Capricorn planets move along and evolve into Aquarius placements, this is going to create an air party as the month progresses, which is what? Great for you, right? Because you're a fellow air person. So as these Aquarius planets flood the 9th house of Sagittarius, optimism and buoyancy and upliftment and creative solutions and expanded horizons and publishing and speaking and international opportunities and international business and languages and spiritual breakthroughs where you're seeing the bigger picture and the connectivity of everything. All of this is going to start to occur and bring great life and vitality to you and excitement and really fuel you very strongly. It's very, very exciting. Now, as the planets move along there, you may travel far and near and far. You may be planning for the future for travel. You may also be writing or ready to learn something important or ready to launch your teaching. So this month has amazing touch points for big launches. The 17th to the 22nd hold a great deal of goodness. And by then, we've got planets starting to convert into Aquarius, starting to make those trines, the most favorable aspect in all of astrology for fellow air sign Gemini. So that is how the month progresses. This is going to be very social. This is going to be very communicative. This will be very gregarious. You may go on an inner study bender yourself without anybody else, but there is something about groups, maybe online study groups or an online forum or something that may fall into what you've got going on here, because both Aquarius and Gemini have a lot of social components, networks, communities, groups, friends, teamwork. And maybe you're doing something fun with a friend or with a group. So all of that is happening and all of that is exciting. Also, as the month progresses, we are getting more into eclipse season. And this is very important to know that even though we've got one eclipse in February on the 17th, solar eclipse at 28 degrees of Aquarius, and March 3rd, we have a lunar eclipse at 12 degrees of Virgo, and we're in January, and you may say, why are we talking about this now? It's because 4 to 6, sometimes more weeks before the actual eclipses, the season starts and things start bubbling. I always think of the eclipse pot as having water in it all the time, and it's always on a very slow simmer in between eclipse seasons with kind of things percolating in the background. And then as the season gets closer, as we get closer to those exact eclipses, then the fire gets turned up and the bubbles start bubbling more and more. The bubbles of manifestation and potential outcomes and events and news and information start getting wound up, okay? So, and bubbling out. So as January progresses, the Pisces Virgo eclipses that we have been in this cycle every 6 months, with it also running in the backdrop for the last, since the end of 2024. And this will go into 2027. So that has been accentuating for Geminis your home and work sectors. So home versus work, inner world versus outer world, ancestry, family, real estate, your place out in the world has been having new opportunities, endings and beginnings, and shuffling around for all this time, and that is going to happen again. So you will see important information start to come in regarding news and family and housing and work. You may have a career awakening. You may feel a spiritual or intuitive purpose emerging. This transiting North Node is very much related to purpose. And besides these Cap planets also making a sextile with Saturn and Neptune, some of them are actually going to make that beautiful angle with the North Node. And so will that full moon at the beginning of the month will actually make a trine with the transiting North Node. So that money moon at the beginning of the month and these Capricorn aspects that come in with these Pisces placements may be activators of positive karmic experience as they get you more on track with your highest expression in this lifetime. So you may step into different professional paths or feel more aligned that way. You may feel a home work-life reset, family patterns shifting, reorganizing or discovery of your roots, and really getting your environments at home and work, your place in the world and out of the world, away from the world, inside in your more emotional private space, to be reset and restructured and nourish you more. So you will see that coming back up. That's the lunar eclipse at 12 degrees of Virgo, continuing that storyline, which we will start to feel brewing in January. You may also start to feel the tensions gathering from the alignment. As we get closer to February 17th, those heavenly bodies join their gravitational forces, making a mega gravitational force that bends time and space around them, as Einstein postulated and was later proven, that heavenly bodies warp time and space around them. That's why we have gravitational fields that are unique to our own planets. That's why we leave this planet and time changes. And when these energetics align, it actually bends time and space, and weird things happen, and time gets weird, and synchronicities occur, and, things feel loopy and disconnected, or, not moving linearly. So you will feel all of that brewing. Now, on February 17th, we have a new eclipse cycle, 28-degree Aquarius eclipse, that is going to start a cycle that goes until early 2028. And that's going to be activating your 3rd house and your 9th house, which is going to make education, information, research, communication, mobility, travel, near and far, local communities, friendships, international scene, more pronounced. A time of great learning and a time of possibly great teaching over the course of these years, things developing very strongly for Geminis in that way. You can think back to early 2017 to early 2019 and think about what went on then, because this was happening then as well. Also in early 2008 to the end of 2009, big learning curve for Geminis. Really, stepping into taking in information and putting it out, wisdom and function in information. This eclipse cycle that will be in effect even earlier than that March one. So even in early January, we might start to see the effects from this one, or even before that, even the end of December. Stuff coming up from this new eclipse cycle. Spiritual or belief system resets could be happening. Different ways of seeing things, a perceptual shift that changes everything. Major learning. Could also be something immigration or regarding immigration or moving to a different country, or a sudden expansion in your worldview. So all of this is going on as these fields of experience are accentuated by these eclipses, and we are building into getting that bubbling pot, getting stronger every day we move into and through January. Okay, so I've given you a lot of dates. Make sure you go to AnnieHelpsYou.com and pick up your free monthly written star report by me. With the sweet and salty dates, I elaborate on all of the best dates, the ones to watch, what to watch out for, the best and the worst of the month there. If you want to see what's up for 2026 and beyond, get my personalized video package report at Annie B. Clarity for your outer planets, which are the long-term themes affecting your life for anywhere from a year to 20 years. Very deep understandings. Annie, the letter B, clarity.com. If part of your educational journey with all of that 3rd and 9th house activation is involving you wanting to learn astrology, check out my astrology certification mastery course. If you love how I teach and you want to learn just for yourself and your family and friends, or if you want to earn money as an astrologer, I am very good at helping people to do that. The course is very well established for helping you reach that outcome. You can go to beastropro.com, beastropro.com. I hope you have a wonderful start to your new year, a wonderful month, and I'll see you next month. Bye.